Good morning, 11th class. As I told you yesterday, that we are going to start the revision of the syllabus since so many chapters in the beginning have been done on WhatsApp. So now I am sending you the videos again. We will revise the syllabus. We are going to start with the book Snapshot, and the first chapter is The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. Today I am going to tell you the summary in detail and then we will read the chapter line by line. The story revolves around two poor Armenian boys, Murad and Aram. They are members of Gagleanian family. The hallmarks, the priority, the importance, the value, the what you can say, how we can understand the family of their tribe are trust and honesty. The story begins in a mood of nostalgia. Arman, the narrator, was then a boy of 9, and his cousin Murad, a more adventurous but slightly crazy fellow, was 13. The narrator remembers vividly the day when Murad came to his house at 4 in the morning and woke him up by tapping on the window of his room. Aram jumped out of the bed, and when he looked out of the window, he couldn't believe what he saw. His cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Murad asked him to be quick if he wanted to ride. The narrator had a longing to ride, but his whole Gargulalian family was poor enough, well known for their trust and honesty. The narrator knew that his cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it. The narrator refused to believe he had stolen it because no member of his family could be a thief. The narrator, Aram, asked Murad where he had stolen that horse. Murad didn't reply, but asked him to leap out of the window if he wanted to ride. He knew that Murad was crazy regarding the horses. Stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something, money, or selling a stolen horse. The narrator leaped out from the window. He jumped down on the yard from the window and leaped onto the horse behind his cousin Murad. From their house in Walnut Avenue, they reached Olive Avenue in less than 3 minutes. The horse began to run fast, trot, as the air was fresh and lovely to breathe. Murad was considered one of the craziest members of their family. He began to sing or rather roar. They reached the open country and let the horse run as long as it felt like running. At last, Murad asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride alone. Aram asked him if he would let him ride alone. Murad replied that it was up to the horse. The narrator got down and his cousin Murad kicked his heels into the horse and shouted, Wazir, run. The horse stood on its hind legs, snorted, and ran forward as fast speed. Murad raced the horse across the field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch. He crossed the ditch on the horse and 5 minutes later returned. He was dripping wet. The sun was coming up. Now the narrator leaped to the back of his horse, but the horse did not move. At the suggestion of Murad, he kicked into his muscles of the horse. It reared, snorted, and began to run. The narrator did not know what to do. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road to the vineyard of Bikran Halabian and leaped over the 7 wins before Aram fell. Murad came running down the road. He was more worried about the horse than Aram. Both of them searched the horse in different directions. It took Murad half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. Murad hid the horse in the deserted vineyard belonging to farmer Fitwazin. There were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. It occurred to the narrator that Murad had been taking early rides for some time and had come to him that morning only. He inquired, "How long ago did you steal this horse?" Murad did not like the question. The narrator rephrased it. "How long did you begin riding every morning?" He replied, "Not until this morning." He was obviously not speaking the truth, but he convinced Aram by saying so. Murad then told Aram that it wasn't easy to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first, it wanted to run wild, but since he had a way with the horse, he developed an understanding with it. The narrator reached home and ate a hearty breakfast. That afternoon, his uncle Khusrov came to their house for coffee and cigarette. While he was sipping coffee and smoking the cigarette in the parlor, another visitor arrived. The new visitor was a farmer named John Bairo. He was an Assyrian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian. He was also served coffee and tobacco. Sighing sadly, he said that his white horse, which had been stolen last month, was still gone. Uncle Khusrau became irritated and snubbed him for crying over a horse. Farmer John Biro was a large man with a gentle heart. He had to walk 10 miles to reach there, and his left leg pained him. The horse had cost him $60, and his surrey was no good without a horse. As soon as the farmer went away, Aram ran over to cousin Murad's house. He told him everything. He asked Murad not to return the horse till he learnt to ride. He suggested keeping it for a year or at least 6 months. Murad thought he was inviting a Garaglalian to steal. He decided to return the horse to his true owner. Early every morning for 2 weeks, Murad and Aram took the horse out of the barren, deserted vineyard where they were hiding it and rode it. Every morning, the horse would leap over the grapevines and small trees and throw a ram and run away. Still, Aram hoped to learn to ride as Murad rode. One morning, on the way to Fitwajin's deserted vineyard, they came across farmer John Bairo, who was on his way to the town. Murad greeted him. The farmer studied the horse eagerly and wished them good morning. He asked he asked the name of their horse. Murad replied that they called it My Heart. John Bairo called it a lovely name for a lovely horse. He was certain that it was the horse which had been stolen from him many weeks ago. He asked if he might look into horse's mouth. On examining the teeth of the horse, the farmer was ready to swear that it was his own horse. But since the fame of their family for honesty was well known, he would not call it the stolen horse. Still, it was the twin of his horse. Early the next morning, the boys took the horse to John Barrow's vineyard and put it in the barn. Murad put his arms across around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and then they went away. That afternoon, John Biro came to their house in the Surrey and showed the narrator's mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. He was surprised to find the horse stronger than ever and better tempered too. He thanked God. Uncle Khusro, who was in the parlour, became irritated and shouted to him to be quiet. He observed that his horse had been returned and repeated his pet phrase, pay no attention to it. So that's all about the story. In the next video, we'll start the reading of the chapter line to line. Till then, watch the video very carefully and try to understand the story.